experimenting with the branded deck, after playing with the Blue-Eyes Primite build for 2.5 weeks, has been pretty fun. But I wanted to try something else and to see how Branded was doing. This is going to be a really good contender for a rogue deck. I played a 60 card build, and why the 60 card build is that I actually add the Nadir Servant, the Nadir package in here. So you're going to need 3 copies of Nadir Servant. You're going to need 1 Maximus to get this going. If you're not familiar with it, I want to emphasize that this Nadir package, when you activate Nadir Servant or Dogmatic Maximus, whatever you activate, you need to do this last. And I'm going to give you an example is that, especially with the format now with Blue-Eyes Primite, they run a very heavy hand trap deck. So literally my first duel, I got Impermed, I got Veilered, and I got Ashed, and I had a Nadir Servant in my hand, and so I was like, let's do this. Activate it. If you don't know what it does, you send an extra monster from the extra deck. We run Garura here. You send Garura to the grave, and then you grab a Dogmatica card from your deck and you add it to your hand. The options that we have would be Guiding Quim and then Dogmatica Maximus. But for the sake of the consistency and for the extension, we're going to go ahead and grab Dogmatica Maximus. So you add it to your hand and you're going to draw 1 card. Once you draw that 1 card, you'll activate Dogmatica Maximus' effect by banishing a extra deck monster from the grave, and that's how you special summoned. Once you special summon, you're able to activate his effect, and this is where I love this extension. You get to choose 2 extra deck monsters to send to the grave, and then your opponent sends 2 monsters to send from the extra deck to the grave. Now, with Branded, we all know that there's amazing extensions with the extra deck monsters. Obviously, Albion allows you to set a Branded spell and trap. Rimbrum allows you to special summon a Fallen Albaz from the graveyard. Titaniclad, obviously, it allows you to special summon a Fallen Albaz or Blazing or a Dogmatica monster. Grand Guignol, it literally cheats out a Despia monster from the extra deck. Like, you can special summon it, or you can special summon a Dogmatica monster from your deck. And also Lulu Willith, what she does is that you're able to pretty much summon a Cartesia or a Guiding Quim from your deck to your to the field. And so really specifically with the Blue-Eye support, what we want to try to do is, however we can do this, depending on what your board is, it just depends on, what options you have. But what did when I did my first match, I actually did this. I did Titaniclad and I did Rimbrum. And so what that means is that I was able to activate Titaniclad's effect. I was able to special summon Guiding Quim. With Guiding Quim, what I was able to do was pretty much put a Fallen Albaz in the grave. Especially with Blue-Eyes, we have Rimbrum. And as I say before, with Rimbrum, you're able to special summon a Fallen Albaz from the graveyard by banishing Rimbrum from the graveyard. And I would say literally I did that twice in both the Blue-Eyes matches I did. The second Blue-Eyes match I went 2-0. And I really just want to emphasize, guys, how important this Nadir package is. And so I want y'all to just give it a try. If you don't have the card set up, if you don't have the package, you can test it out in Master Duel and just give it a shot and see how you like it. Especially with even in Master Duel and how that format is, they're in the they're in the Snake Eyes, Yubel, Fiendsmith, format, And so I wish I would have ran this sooner. This would have made my locals experience so much better. But at the same time, if you're able to hurdle over Snake Eyes, Yubel format, with Branded, and this is going to be an easier format for y'all. Other than that, I want to explain that this gives you an out. Also, lastly, Branded opening was amazing against Blue-Eyes. The number of times that they tried to destroy my fusion monsters, and all I had to do was banish Branded Opening, and it would protect the fusion monsters on the field from being destroyed. And so it was amazing. And so that's something I really wanted to share. Again, now you kind of know how to use the Nadir Servant package. Just try it out, guys. I do recommend you try doing the branded build, with the 60 card deck. The fact that it gives you, currently I'm still running at 57. I realized that the Mulcharmy Fualisos went up to almost $100 a card. So it's almost $300 for a whole set. So I was like, no, I'm going to wait till April. So I was running a 57 card setup. So, pretty much you just check my video. You'll see what I have. But other than that, I hope you liked it. Hopefully y'all check it out. Please give it a try. It's going to give you so much extension. And I do want to emphasize one more thing. This will be the last thing you need to do if everything else gets shut down. So please make sure you use this effect on the very last thing you do if everything else gets shut down. Other than that, good luck. If you and tell me in the comment section what sort of branded combos you want to see. I'm gonna be making a branded guide on like where to attack certain builds for Maliss, Ryzeal, and obviously for Blue Eyes. And so, guys, I really appreciate your time. You guys have a good rest of your day.